Hello guys, and welcome to my first tutorial on Roblox. So in this tutorial, we're going to be seeing how to randomize light patterns. Now I made this script for somebody else, but I need a filler episode. So, here I am. I'm going to return to devlogs next week. So, all is well, all is good. Anyway, so basically we want to create a light folder. And now that we have our light folder, we're going to place our two parts in there, and we're gonna call each of them lights because that's what they are. And then in them you can put a light in them, and there's point light, there's also spotlight, and there's surface lights. Since there's all these types of lights, we're gonna have to make a script that can account for all of them. So basically we have our three lights, and we have a point light, spotlight, and a surface light. And we have them all in our light folder. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a script in service script service, and let's just call this a light script. Alright, so now that we have our light script, we need to get our light folder. So we're gonna just type in local light folder is equal to game.workspace.light folder. And then we need to get the descendants of this light folder. So if we get and then descendants, then that's going to get all the descendants in a table. Then we're going to do local light enable activated or active, whatever you want to call it, equals true. So let's say you want to turn off all the lights in the game. You can set this value to false, and then it'll automatically do that. So now that we have that, we're going to create some functions. So for our first function, it's going to randomize the lights. So we're going to call this option 1. And we're just going to copy and paste it. So what these functions are going to do is that they're going to randomize the lights. Because, that's the point of the script. So we're going to have option 1, option 2, and option 3. And just to make sure that they work, we're just going to have this print function in each of these, just to make sure that nothing in the script is broken. So option 1, option 2, and option 3. So now that we have that, we need something to loop through a table. And for that, we're going to use a for I, v, and pair script. So you're going to do for I, and I like to do child because it just makes it easier for me. So in pairs, and then do. But for the pairs, we're going to have the light folder, which is the table. It's a table, technically, not a folder, but it is what it is. And so now we need to make sure that there's actually a light in each of the lights. So what we're going to do is we're going to check if the child has a light in it. So the child is going to be each one of these lights. So we're going to do if child find first child, and if we find a spotlight, then it's gonna get that spotlight and it's gonna get that child. So if we find a spotlight, it's gonna move on to the next line of code. But the thing is, there's also a surface light and a point light. So we're gonna do or, and we're just gonna copy and paste this, and we're just gonna do or again. And now we can put in our point light, and we can put in our surface light. Now we can get all three of these different types of lights. Alright, so now we need to create a random function. So we're going to do local option is equal to math.random 1 to 3. So these account for each three of these options. If you want to create more, you can just increase that number. So if we should probably create a space there to make clean code. So if option is equal to 1, then we're going to call option 1. And then, we're going to call option 1. And we're just going to copy and paste this for option 2 and option 3. So option 2 and option 3. So now we need to get our light, because if we don't get our light, then all the lights are going to be the same thing. Like, they aren't going to be different and randomized. So now we're going to get our light. So local light, probably capitalize that, is equal to child. There, it's that simple. Actually, this wouldn't work because we need to get all 3 lights. So the most common type of light is a spotlight. So we're gonna first check the spotlight. So we're gonna do find first child, and then we're gonna do spotlight. So find first child makes it so that it's gonna try and find that child, but if it doesn't find that child, it will not show an error. So now we're gonna do if light equals nil, because if there is no spotlight, then it's gonna equal nil. We're then gonna check the second most common type of light, and now we're gonna copy and paste that, and now we'll check if the light is a point light. But we're gonna check one more time. If light again equals nil, now there's only one more type of light that can be possible. We're gonna do find or wait for child surface light, and then just to check if light still equals nil, then we will print an error. Actually, we should probably do find first child. If light equals nil, now if there is no light, we're gonna do an error. So error light cannot be gotten. So we're gonna print an error if the light cannot be gotten, but you know, probably we're gonna be able to get it because of this. So we don't really need that, but just in case, you know, if anyone suffers an error. And we need to put a light in here, so because we got our light. Now we're gonna put the light into here. So now that we have the light in here, we need to go to our function. Now we're gonna print option 1, option 2, and option 3. And also we gotta put this in a loop. So while light active equals true, then we're gonna loop this. So, you know, this is just for my brain. You don't have to do what I'm doing. Just moving everything up by 1. And we actually got to do, and we're gonna do wait 1 second. Now this is the interval which the lights are gonna change at. You can always change that, so we're actually gonna create a function for that. So local light interval is equal to let's say 1 second, because that's what we already have, and we're gonna do light interval. So now that we have that, let's go into our game and let's see if it actually does work. And it works. So it's randomly choosing. Now this might be very hard to actually understand, but basically when the same thing happens multiple times, it's gonna have that X on it. So that means option 1, 3, and 2. Option 2 has been picked 3 times. Option 3, option 2, option 1. That's why we want to have more variety. So it's actually easier to tell that's different. We should also probably do that. So now if you're going to make this on your own, you should probably have maybe 5, 6, 7 options, because 3 is just not like enough. Especially if you have a lot of lights, it's going to look really weird. So now that we have this, let's actually create our light function. So as you see, there's brightness on here. So we should probably get the light. And now we can do light dot brightness is equal to 2. And then we're going to wait 0.5 seconds, and light brightness is going to be equal to 1. And we're going to wait. Actually, we should probably make it like that. So, it's not a very good system, but it works pretty well. Obviously, some improvements can be made, but I can't fit that into this video. So, we're going to do 0.5. And then we're going to do 2. And then 1. And this final value always has to be 1, whether you like it or not. And I'm actually going to have this be 1 and 2. So, now that we have this, the lights should be working. Now, it's really hard to see in the daytime. So, let me just change that real quick. So now it's nighttime. As you can see, the lights are being different. So now it's kind of hard to see because the lights are all different kinds of lights. And also, I did not configure them much. But you can clearly see that they're randomized. And you can also see in the output that it's randomized. So everything works correctly. If there's anything wrong with the script, please tell me. That would be much appreciated. But I personally think it works pretty well. And yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you found this helpful. And see y'all.